Hey, StarCrafters, Wookie here, and we're going to be looking at I don't want to say pro level game because I'm not sure that it is. I found this on SC Replays. But this is VileSpanshwa versus vVvTime, so I thought I would try to cast it. If you've been watching Husky or Day9 or some other channels, some popular replay channels, you have seen Spanshwa play, and I really find his play interesting, so I wanted to give you one of his games. I looked him up, and he is ranked 30 in his Grandmaster League with a 62% win ratio, and you can check out him and all of his Vile teammates at vilegaming.com. His opponent on Xel'Naga Caverns is going to be Time from the vVv clan, and he is ranked 1 in his Master Division with a 55% win ratio. So rank 1 Master Division versus rank 30 Grandmaster Division, and vVv has a website too. It's vvv-gaming.com if you want to check those guys out. So we've got a Protoss versus Zerg on Xel'Naga Caverns, and right away we've got a first pylon going down here in the expansion next to the gas geysers. That's a little different. We've got some scouting action going on. Looks like a probe took a poke. Of course, Spanshwa known for delaying his gas and expanding a lot. Seeing this spawning pool come down first is a little different. Normally we see a hatchery first. I haven't been reading this chat, so if that's interesting, I apologize. I've kind of been looking at the minimap and the game. Looks like we've got Forge First coming down. Let's look at our production tab. Forge First usually means cannons or an expansion quickly. Oop, here we go, Spanshwa. WTF cannons. So we've got a Nexus block happening here. A little worker on worker crime. Ooh, a quick hatchery. Excuse me, that was looks like a hatchery cancel, and then evolution chamber right on top of it. You can see when you cancel a hatchery, there's a moment where there's some creep there. So that's a total Nexus block. Up here we've got a hatchery coming down. Looks like a probe harassed it for a little while, but not too terribly long. So we've got a spawning pool up and running, and 4 Zerglings on the field for Spanshwa with an expansion coming. We've got some probe violence on an evolution chamber, and finally a cannon is up to take care of the rest of that. And meanwhile, Spanshwa getting a good look at the map. We've got Zerglings on the prowl, we've got overlords hanging out, tower captured, so he's getting a lot of information about the map, which is nice. I like that. Vision, of course, is a resource in StarCraft. And here we have some Zerglings. Oh, those are broodlings, so I got excited when I saw a bunch of dots on the minimap. But evolution chamber gets busted, broodlings make the token violence there. They take their little attempt at some retribution. It is so short-lived. They have such a small window of opportunity to get that retribution, and I'm going to go ahead and call that unsuccessful. Finally have the Nexus up here for Time and the Cybernetic Core coming down. He's been on 1 gateway this entire duration of this game. We're at 5 minutes 20 seconds. You can see, let's look at the units, 26 probes and absolutely no combat units. I couldn't play like that. I don't know. I have to have something that can do damage beyond a probe. I mean, 1 cannon, that's just real thin, but he seems to be doing alright. He is number 1 in his Master League, and I am like rank 4 in my Silver League, so I'm going to say his plan's probably better. We can see 27 drones for Spanshwa, and only 3 Zerglings on the map, so 1 has popped, but he's got 3 queens. Apparently Spanshwa hates the Stargates, so we'll expect to see a few more queens coming out of him. Production tab shows... nope, just drones. Drones is all you need. Sounds like a Beatles song. Drones are all you need. All you need is drones. Wah, 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 wah. And, okay, I don't even bother commenting. I know I shouldn't sing. And we've got just 3 queens now, well, the 1 extra for the creep tumors, it looks like. And here goes the Zergling speed. When I think SC2 was on Day 9 Daily, Friend Day Wednesday. I think that's where I heard this. Anyway, if not, somewhere he was asked, what do you do when your opponent goes air early? He says, build more queens, make a lot of drones, get up a huge ground army, and force the air units to stay home to help defend. So basically put so much ground pressure on that the air army cannot be successful. I thought that was an interesting approach to that. Usually when my opponent builds air army, I throw down 14 cannons around each expansion that I own. But here we have some zealots being focused down. We've got 2 queens, that should be no problem, with some transfuses available there, and those drones finish off the zealot that was harassing them in their line. And meanwhile, we've got a Phoenix and a Void Ray up on the field, so Time taking the initiative there and looking to secure the skies. You can see now on the minimap all of the overlords have been pulled back because those air units will just snipe them and can cause a whole lot of supply problems for a Zerg player. When I'm against a Zerg opponent, I like to get a couple Phoenix out, or at least to patrol the stalkers and go looking for overlords to pop. That can be so annoying to a Zerg player. So that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing the air units on some patrol routes, taking some looks around, see what they can see, and try to get some overlords off the field. We've got an overseer coming in. This is surely going to be for a scout, the 9-minute mark, and some speedlings poking around. Here's a drone. Do we have an expansion coming up? We very well might, so we'll keep an eye on that. Looks like Time saw it, and is he going to get it? Oh, nice! Nice expansion deny. That was excellent timing. Good reaction. Zergling's working on the rocks while the Overseer flies into the main base and sees finally some more gateways. Still just 1 starport, Stargate. I guess starports belong to another race. Those are real. SC2 just figuring out that the Phoenixes are not hallucinations. That's funny. A lot of times you'll see sentries with hallucinate pop out some Phoenix for some scouting. So it looks like SC2 got caught by that. The Void Ray taking the Zerglings at the towers, and this is one of SC2's tactics. He will mess up a lot of Zerglings while he works on upgrades. You can see this production tab. Bam, bam, bam. We've got ground for the units just finished, so here's going to be a timing push. Pokes in at the expansion. Sees probably a little more than he can handle, but I think that was as much an investigative poke as it was a harassment poke. So he's going to retreat back to the towers where he finds a Void Ray, so he's going to retreat even further. And Time doing a good job of getting his bases saturated. Looking at the units tab, he's got 53 harvesters, so his income has got to be skyrocketed. 1,500 floating around with 54 harvesters, and SC2 on 44, so his income is actually lower. You don't normally see a Protoss player out producing anybody, really. But here we do see that. We've got a nice Phoenix cloud patrolling the skies and keeping a look and taking a third. Nice. Bringing a second expansion in for some more economic superiority. And here we've got some queens out a little too far, a little overextended. 1 down, infestors get the fungal growth, 2 get lifted. Those Phoenix are going. This does not look good for these Phoenix. The Void Ray is down. Phoenix are made of balsa wood and paper. Super fast and very versatile, but do not hold up to the punishment very well. But the observer there is getting a good look at everything that's going on. We've got a third base now from SC2 finally secured. Well, that's probably, saying that is secured is probably premature, but you can see right when it goes down, units are rallied, so that's good. I'm saying that's good. Good Grandmaster player rallying your hatchery very well. Here we've got a lot of Zerglings. how many exactly? 72. Very few problems that 72 Zerglings can't handle. With fungal growth to start off this engagement here, to work on those shields, and Zerglings get a nice surround. So powerful against Immortals, because those Immortals with the hardened shield, Zerglings don't care, because the hardened shield doesn't reduce their damage, because it doesn't exceed the amount that the shield reduces to. But, oh, Dark Templar are going to be very problematic for SC2 to deal with, unless he's got a lot of Overseers on the field and with other units around. Ooh, fungal growth, by the way, will detect Dark Templar. Very nicely done. This cannon being problematic because only one Zergling can get its claws on it at a time. I think it's going to stick there a long time. This could be an opening to exploit, though. If he can get a bunch of Zerglings through that hole, he could get into the main and do some damage. We've got the Phoenix finally taking care of the Infestor problem. Infestors in your base, never good, but doing a decent job of stopping the mining there and slowing down the Protoss player's economic advantage. And just when you thought it was over, here come more Zergling. 28 of them on the field now. Production tab shows no more being made. So good. 30 Zerglings still on the field. There most of them are. Looks like we've got some Infestors running around the back door. Gonna probably use this high ground to harass this mineral line with either infested Terrans or fungal growth. Very nice. Zerglings make a break right into the mineral line, but find the probes are still out, and there's, oh, finding the door. I think he's going to take a look up into the main and see how much destruction he can lay down there. We've only got one cannon, and Zealots take forever. It's like, oh, jeez. Getting their exercise. Got their ASIC gels on, and they are out for a jog. And these Zerglings are going to stay up in the main and get a look around, while more are being massed just outside the expansion. We're going to have these pylon sniping, always annoying. Not really in danger of being supply blocked is time, but still, you hate to have to rebuild those. And this looks like it's going to clean up our little Zergling problem in our main base. Excuse me, and everybody can get back to mining, so not terrible there. How many gateways are we working on here? 7 gateways run Robo, and oh no, wave number 3 of Zergling. So this has been just constant Zergling harassment from SC2. Very difficult to deal with. We see fungal growth on the drones, knocks out their shields. Zerglings make short work of them. Big warp in here. That should be all Zealots. Yep, that's gonna secure this, but the Zerglings, it looks like, have run themselves right up into those Zealots and Immortals. Trying to do a little picky-pokey damage, not doing too much. Still 43 probes for time, so he's dealing with the harassment quite well. It looks worse than it is, I think, because after all that, he still has 43 probes to 49 drones. So SC2 kind of evened it up a little bit. Took the opportunity to get his second expansion up and running. He's got some spore crawlers there to thwart the Phoenix harass, and these 3 Dark Templar could do a lot of damage, because while having spore crawlers at your hatchery is great for detecting a Dark Templar, not real good for combating Dark Templar. You know, Ultralisks are good for fighting Dark Templar if you can see them, but those apparently are on the rally and just did not see those Dark Templar. That's a mini-map miss. Oh, wow. Here comes some reinforcements, but now all the detection is gone. So we've got plenty to take out those Dark Templar, but now we just can't see them. I suspect there's an Overseer on the way. Here it comes. Phoenix looking like they're going to try to take out the Overseer, but can they get it? No, the Dark Templar go down. The Phoenix still get the Overseer, but the Dark Templar have already been defeated, and the hatchery has 13 hit points. Probably had about 11 when the Dark Templar died. And these Infestors are like, screw you guys. So we'll see if these Phoenix can escape with their life. The infested Terran pop out, and the Phoenix skirt on out of there. Oh, and the Queens get retribution on one of them, but 2 survive. A little battered, a little beaten. We're going to go let their shields regenerate. We've got 3 Zerglings in the main, saving those for later because you don't want to kill all of your Zerglings at once. You want to save some for later in case you get a craving to get your Zerglings killed. You can unburrow those and go run them to their deaths. An observer in the center of the map for time, keeping an eye on that infestor, and we'll be able to see anything else that goes on here. We've got some overlord massing going on. I don't know if that's just an old rally point that never got changed, but here come the Phoenix to spoil this little party, and those overlords are forced to float away. Nicely done there by Time. I'm very impressed with the way Time has dealt with this harassment, taking another base, securing it with cannons, it looks like. See, I'm not the only one who builds a billion cannons. Well, he's not building a billion cannons, he's building 3. I guess that's probably alright. Now here we see the Ultralisk and the Queens rolling out on the, they're slow rolling on that no creep. They're just like, oh yeah, it makes me want makes me imagine some theme music going on. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, a little Barry White. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. Oh, and meanwhile, there's probably combat happening that I should probably be paying attention to. We had some infested Terrans there, so I want to suspect it was air units. And here we go, finding the 4th base, running into a bunch of cannons, which are going to melt away, but a lot of zealots. And these immortals are so good against Ultralisks. They do so much damage. You can see our Ultras, 5-3 upgrades, and they're melting away. Of course, the Dark Templar in there are certainly playing a role in that. Dark Templar mixed in with your Zealot army is so good because your opponent often doesn't realize that the Dark Templar are there. If you've got 3 Dark Templar harassing a mineral line, it's pretty obvious to your opponent what's going on. But if you've got 8 Zealots and 2 Dark Templar harassing a mineral line, your opponent's only focused on the Zealots, and once, you know, they can come in and clean up the Zealots, but those Dark Templar can live a lot longer because there was no immediate response from your opponent to get some detection. So those Dark Templar can do so much damage when they are sprinkled into a ground army like that. I love this. Taking out the expansion, we can see another round of Ultralisks has been produced here, but vVileTime does not care. Banelings can make the difference. Can Banelings make the difference? I don't know how much damage they're going to do against those Immortals. That's a lot of Immortals, and those Ultralisks hate that, giving their big pincer hugs to the Immortals, and the Immortals can shrug that off. Look at that. They still have shields. That was brutal. 1 Ultralisk hides, and SC2 gives the good game. That was a very nice play by Time. I really like the way he dealt with all that harassment. Was able to keep SC2 on 2 bases, didn't allow the 3rd one to operate for very long. Stayed ahead of him in the worker counts, in the money. At the end of the game, the income was still at 1,400 by the end of the game with 60 harvesters. I love it. And that's how you beat a Zerg player massing up. Just keep them on a couple of bases, deny their expansions. So good play on both sides, I thought. I didn't realize we had some long distance mining going on here. Some Dark Templar chasing that down. I was like, hey, you come back here with that gold minerals. But very nice game, very nice play from on both sides. That was vVvTime, whom you can find at vvv-gaming.com if you want to look him up, and of course vIleSpanshwa at vilegaming.com. I'm the Wookiee. I hope you enjoyed that. Peace out.